Now, it's Pace of Play.
Come on, Glenn! Come on! Get your head in the damn game!
Putting the boys on the clock.
I guess we're playing for keeps now.
The fuck?
All right here on Pace of Play, AC, let's get right into it. A couple of good topics here, and then we're going to get into a little bit of non-sport topics or non-golf topics here at the end. But first one, Player of the Month. February was obviously a short month. We got 4 opportunities, 4 events. Choices here are Matt Kuchar, Phil Mickelson, Brandt Snedeker, and John Merrick. Which way do you go? Who do you pick for Player of the Month, and why?
I got to go with Sneds. He's probably going to be my pick for the Masters as well, but looking at his February with a second at Waste Management down at TPC Scottsdale, and then turning around and winning at Pebble, the AT&T, pretty much right away. So, hard to beat a 1-2, even though he's taken this week off, and even his January was good. So, leading the FedEx Cup points, he's my guy.
Yeah, I don't think this is even close. Snedeker is, as you mentioned, with a second place and a first place finish, he would have had, even at worst a T33 at if he wanted to play in the match play, which he bowed out of.
Yeah.
So could have had an even better finish there. Ends the month leading in the FedEx Cup points, as you mentioned. Still leading in the FedEx Cup points. Still leading in total money. So I don't think there's any question that Snedeker has to be the choice here.
No,
Although. Go ahead.
It is nice to see Mickelson playing better golf. I know that's always good for the game, so it's nice to see him up there too. I just feel it's got to go to Sneds.
Yeah, I agree. There's got to be a little higher ranking for winning a World Golf Championship. I mean, for winning a match play like that, as far as points and all that type of thing, like there is. But I think Kuchar, with a T38 at Northern Trust as his only other result, I think Snedeker's got to be the only way to go here. All right. Michael Thompson won last week's Honda Classic at 9 under par and actually birdied the last hole to win 9 under par to beat who? Finish second? Jeff Ogilvy, -7.
Oh, yeah, I should have known.
Yeah. Jeff Ogilvy finished -7. So Michael Thompson birdies the last hole to finish at 9 under par. Now, Tiger Woods, after 2 rounds at Doral, is -13. And the question that I have here is, what do you prefer to watch? And maybe you can talk a little bit about what you prefer and talk a little bit about what you think spectators prefer as a whole. But prefer to watch that major test, kind of that grinding type of golf, or do you prefer a birdie fest as a spectator and really like to see a lot of good shots, a lot of fairways, a lot of greens, a lot of putts made?
Yeah, well, I think Tiger's birdied 17 of his first 36 or something, that's just crazy. But I kind of prefer, personally, the grinded out game, a major championship, something where, the ballpark and 9 to 12 under wins it. It makes those guys on TV look a little more human. I think more of the viewers can relate. When you get into a birdie fest, it's exciting for the fans as well. I think everybody likes to see birdies and eagles. That's what it's all about, just like people want to see the home run ball. But I prefer more of the 9 to 12 under type tournament winning at the Masters, things like that, seeing a little bit of weather come in. It's more of a challenge for them.
Yeah, I sit right on the fence here. I think, and the reason I sit on the fence is because I like both. I like the mix that the tour has right now in that, between that grind out session, as well as the tournament that's for the bombers that hit it everywhere, hack it out on the green and play. The good thing is that the players get to choose what fits them, the old horses for courses type of thing. We see TPC Scottsdale, our tournament, TPC Summerlin, obviously the Bob Hope, Doral this week as being big-time low scores. But then you got the TPC Southwinds and Sawgrass and Riviera and those types of things that are that 8 to 12 under. And then you throw in the majors as we always know what they're going to be. I think the weather plays a big role, as we saw at Boston the other day. But I like a little bit of both, and I think that we got a good mix going right now with what we got on tour. All right, great finishing hole this week. We just spoke with Eddie Carboni, who's the tournament director at Doral, the TPC Blue Monster, for this week's Cadillac event. And we've got a great finishing hole in the 18th hole at Doral.
It is. There's been a lot of drama there in the past, too.
Really provided, like you say, some really good highlights. I think I remember Craig Perry making a 6-iron to win the tournament. Maybe he was tied or something. We remember a bunch of balls in the water there, and a lot of those types of things that have provided highlights at 18. But speaking of finishing holes, what's your favorite finishing hole on tour that that people would know about, remember, whether it's for the beauty of it or for some highlights that have happened? What's your favorite 18th hole finishing out on tour?
Well, you'll probably pull the West Coast bias card out on me here, but I'm going to go with Torrey Pines. I like a hole that puts a premium on not only the tee shot, but then has a little risk-reward factor to the second shot. And, John Daly's had some history there, obviously Tiger, stuff like that, where it's come down to that hole. And, that second shot over water to usually what is a pin that's not really accessible on a Sunday. I think that adds to some good drama. I'm more of a fan of a combined 3-4 hole say as a finish, but this is a good question. I'll take that.
Yeah, I like Torrey Pines. I think that you hit the nail on the head. I think I think anywhere that's either a grinded out, similar to our last question, a grinded out 18th hole where par is a really good score, or one where par can lose you 2 shots, similar to a hole like at Torrey Pines. So I think TPC Sawgrass is a great 18th hole. Pebble Beach, obviously, with their par 5 and water all the way up the left. Carnoustie. I mean, how can you ever not put Carnoustie in that mix with the carnage and the bloodbath that's happened over there when the British Open's played at Carnoustie? I'm going to go with my favorite is Harbour Town. I think the beauty that Harbour Town provides with the how's that thing called?
The aiming point of the lighthouse.
Yeah, the lighthouse there. Obviously, the fairway where you're landing it juts out into the bay there.
Yep.
I think Harbour Town's a great finishing hole that can provide a lot of drama.
Absolutely.
All right, moving forward, we got a nice announcement this week from the TSA, and I appreciate our government agency really helping golf out. But the TSA announced this week the inclusion of lacrosse sticks, billiards cues, and most notably golf clubs will be allowed as carry-on items onto airplanes. You think this is a good call by our government agency,
I have to disagree with
nobody
this
cares?
one. I see it as a lot of musicians get on the plane, they want to bring their guitar up into the cabin. I get that. That's their tool for success, and golf clubs for professional golfers. But it started when they started charging for carry-on baggage, and now everybody fits whatever they can through security to get it into the cabin so that they don't have to wait for their checked baggage and they don't have to pay for it, which means guys like me who sit in row 32, it takes an hour to get off the plane.
Right next to the restroom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So,
middle seat 37B.
Exactly. I'm a fan of check everything in, pay the $25 or fly Southwest or whatever you got to do, but put that stuff downstairs.
I am too. Well, here's my problem with this. It sounds like maybe the same group of people is running the TSA that might be running the USGA. Our focus is in the wrong areas.
Yes.
Let's figure out a way to let me bring water on the airplane.
I was going to say, my shampoo can't make it.
Okay.
Right?
Let me bring water on the airplane before I bring golf clubs. And then the second point, they're only allowing you to take 2 golf clubs. Who the hell carries 2 golf clubs with them on the somewhere where they're going?
Going to the 2-club member guest, apparently.
Yeah. Or maybe it's the golf club that you can ratchet it to 14 different lofts, and it uses as your putter and your driver. I don't know. But 2 golf clubs is and then, lastly, a 9-iron can do some damage. I think I could swing a 9-iron through some metal doors if I had to.
Yeah, well, it seems like more of a weapon than shampoo or water, but I guess we're not making that call.
That's right. All right. Hey, a lot of changes. We talked a lot about this heading into this season, and this was a question you and I kind of debated a little bit yesterday, or at least talked about. But a lot of changes with people switching vendors, whether it be the equipment or apparel or whatever it is that people switching vendors, most notably Rory McIlroy. We got Nick Watney has changed. We got a lot of people have changed. The question here, we're going to change this up and take a little different angle on this. But of the people that you've seen switch, which player made a bad decision, and not necessarily from performance, but maybe from look, and then which player should make a change based on what they look like now from an apparel standpoint?
Yeah, I think guys that helped themselves. Obviously, Nick Watney getting away from was it Hugo Boss or whatever, with the really short sleeves, and going to the flat bill with Nike. And
you're a big flat bill fan.
And those, I played junior golf against them in NorCal, so I always keep an eye on them. And
name dropper, Mark, name dropper. We got a name dropper.
But a guy that kind of hurt himself, in my opinion, is Bubba. I mean, Bubba going to the Oakley gear. I didn't think it looked great on Rory. I don't think it works for Bubba, but it's hard to tell these guys that what to do. I wish kind of that the painter hat would go away, which I think Freddie Jakobsen finally got away from. And then the last thing I'd like to see is probably Keegan get away from the visor.
Yeah. How about Charlie Hoffman going to Travis Matthew?
I never thought it'd work, but he does all right with it. He was out last week. He
pulls it off. It's it was a thing when I saw him for the first time on the cover of the catalog.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't going to work.
Yeah.
But after seeing him, I think he pulls it off well. I think another person that has made a statement in the wrong way is Webb Simpson, going from polo to Izod. And that's nothing against Izod, because we got another homie in Scott Piercy, and as
Which
well
I
as
think
Kevin
Izod
Na.
has helped him a little bit. Yeah,
as well
color.
As Kevin Na that wears Izod. But polo to Izod, I think you're going to make sure that you get paid quite a bit to go from a company like that to down to an Izod. But a person that needs to make a change, and obviously I'm biased a little bit towards Nike.
Yes.
But Carl Pertersson needs to make a change, and I don't know if it's a change in his eating habits or if it's a change in the apparel that Nike is providing. It's beyond doughy. This is a bag of sacrete that he's carrying around with him that I think we need to work on. Nike is an athletic company. They were the ones that said made the statement: if you have a body, you're an athlete. We need to work on his body and what is adorning that body as far as apparel is concerned.
I agree, and Rory with Nike as his canvas, I still think he could do better.
Yeah.
So.